I got a comment earlier this week. I remember seeing you at the Abbey in WeHo. It struck me the duality of your presence. You were outperforming the drag queens, being beautifully extra, truly full of life. But I also saw something deeper, and I saw it more and more as you got more and more drunk, until your friends dragged you out, barely conscious. I wish I could remember who it was and what he said, but he saw me react to seeing you that way and offered something of quick comfort. It stuck with me, and seeing how your life has changed since then makes me so happy. I'd always love to see you and meet you, but I'm happy I'll never meet that version of you again. I want to thank you for your comment because it really means a lot to me. Alcohol really made me lose who I was as a person. And it really, I guess, kind of ate up my soul in a way because I lost who I was at my core. Not just when I was drinking, and even in my day-to-day life, I lost myself. Your comment really made me remember who I had lost, and even though I'm going through depression now, I'm not that person that I was. It helped me remember that, so thank you. I quit drinking completely back in April of this year. I haven't even drank very often since 2020. A couple weeks ago, I drank a little bit. It's not something I want to get back into, but when I read your comment, it reminded me of why I don't want to drink. I don't need to drink to have fun, although it makes things more complicated because that's kind of all we have when we do things. There's drinking everywhere. If you don't drink, then it's kind of hard to really do anything with people. I became an alcoholic. I haven't really told that many people that I was an actual alcoholic. I never admitted it to myself because I always said I can quit if I want to. It's not hard. That was true because when I was home by myself in my apartment, I had alcohol in my freezer that I would never drink. If I was home by myself, I would never drink alcohol. I would only drink when I went out with friends or if I was with friends. That was my crutch that I used to tell myself that I wasn't actually an alcoholic because I had alcohol sitting in my freezer for years and it would just sit there. I never drank it, and I also never had people over to my apartment. We were usually at my boyfriend's place or we would be out at the club. My apartment was too far for anyone to want to go to after the club ended, so we just never went there. Obviously, I was an alcoholic because I drank every day. We would go to the club every night or every other night. We would get tables and bottle service. Several bottles would go by. Afterwards, we would have an after party and we would keep drinking all night long until the sun came up. And then half the time, I had so much energy. And it's really wild how much energy I had because I didn't want to go to sleep when the sun came up. I wanted to keep drinking. So it would be time to go to brunch. So we would have mimosas at brunch. And this was usually on Friday and Saturday. I wasn't this extreme all the time. We would go to brunch and then we would go out that night. And I had so much energy. I just never wanted to go to sleep. Honestly, being with my friends, I think because I didn't have that kind of lifestyle or friend group growing up. I had my core friends, but I never had a big friend group. Having that connection with them, I really felt like they became my family, and I loved being with them all the time. It was hard for me to admit while I was projecting this lively person. That's how I felt, I really did, but I also slowly, I was losing myself, and I don't even know if I realized it. I don't think I realized it. I knew that I was losing myself, but I didn't want to admit it to myself. The only thing I wanted to do was just be with my friends. That's literally all I wanted to do. That kind of took over my life. I didn't want to create anything. I didn't want to be anything. I didn't want to be anyone. And then this kind of changed my life. I started doing mushrooms. I didn't know what mushrooms were. I just started doing little bits here and there. When I would drink, I would have one or two, and then my phone would glow and the lights would be bright, and I enjoyed it. And I was trying to not drink as much at the time, so I knew that I was drinking too much. I was using mushrooms as a way to not drink as much. I would get kind of a similar effect if I just mixed the two. For a year, I did that. You can have a mushroom trip. What does that mean? I've never heard of to that. You can go on a journey inside your mind. I love consciousness and exploring the mind and science, and I used to be into lucid dreaming, so this is right up my avenue. I have my first real mushroom trip. It's wild. I can talk about it later in a different video. After that night, my whole life changed. That's all I wanted to do, figure out what the heck was going on and what this is. I kind of quit drinking. I would drink once in a while, but I kind of quit going out because I just wanted to be at home and go on these journeys. They showed me that I was losing myself. I had actually lost myself. Alcohol was being such a damaging thing to me, and they really helped me quit. And that's when, about 6 months later, we moved out of LA, and that's when I lost all my friends. Then I went through a major depression. It lasted years, and mainly while we were living in Hawaii, away from everyone. That was really hard for me. It was still hard. I had to leave, and I had to do that. I don't know where I would be right now if I didn't leave LA when I did. And it's taken me years, 4 years now. It's taken me that long to get myself back. Even though I'm still struggling with depression today, the depression is different. When you quit alcohol, they say it can take up to 2 years. And also the gray matter in your brain has to regrow. It's just a whole, alcohol does a lot of negative things to your mind. I definitely feel a lot smarter now. I think that's because a lot of my brain has grown back. I've seen the pictures of alcoholics and their brains and MRIs, and it's like deteriorating. The gray matter is really important in thought. I found myself, and I've got that drive back that I want to succeed. It's been nice getting that excitement to build something. Even though it's been really hard to create this clothing brand, didn't even know how to create a clothing brand. It's been super hard. Marketing is the hardest thing. I've got the drive back to succeed. I'm happy that I'm not wasting my life away, and I want to have new friends, and it's really hard for me to make friends here in Vegas because I just miss my friends in LA. So I'm struggling with that at the moment, with accepting that I can have different friends, and that might take me a while. Also, at the same time, I'm just working every day on my YouTube channel and my clothing brand, and that takes up pretty much all of my time. But the main thing is that I'm healthy and getting back on track with fitness. Alcohol addiction at least, is an awful thing, and you don't even know that you're losing yourself when you are. And it's really important to overcome these things, because if you have goals or if you want to achieve anything, if you become an alcoholic, it's very difficult to achieve anything in life. Have any of you guys had any addiction experiences or struggled with addiction? It doesn't have to be alcohol, it can be anything. I'd love to hear some of your stories. Leave them in the comments below. I really enjoy hearing what you guys have been through. It's important to know that I'm not alone. It means a lot to me to know that you're here. Maybe you can help save someone else's life by your story. I want to thank you for watching. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It definitely helps me out a lot. I appreciate you all being here.